Hello, this is an explanation of the program evaluation critique of Article 5, Effects of Technology Immersion on Teachers' Growth in Technology Competency, Ideology, and Practices, conducted by myself, Emily Miller, and my team members, Tracy Neal and Michelle Edwards. Each member of the team chose sections of the evaluation to analyze and write. Once the initial critique was written, each team member then read, edited, and added additional citations to support how well the authors addressed each area of the evaluation. This video is created by all three members after the critique was finished. I performed the summary of program evaluations, need met by the program, and program description. Tracy Neal worked on evaluation questions and evaluation design, and Michelle Edwards completed evaluation findings, conclusions and implications, and team division of labor and responsibilities. To begin with, I will discuss the summary of the program evaluation. The program evaluation consisted of a study of the technological immersion in Texas middle schools. Evaluators examined the relationship between technology immersion building blocks with the effect of different variables at the teacher and student levels. Research was designed as quasi-experimental, which assigned middle schools to a treatment or control group. Posivik states that this type of design shows that something causes something else. The quasi-experimental design allows for many observations of the program. Posivik emphasizes making numerous observations at different times can help resolve the problem of distinguishing random changes from time period to time period from systematic changes and the outcome being measured. Data from the evaluation came from qualitative and quantitative sources. Research was guided by the theoretical model of technology immersion. 2 research questions were investigated. Prior research on the theory of technology immersion was conducted by evaluators. Measures were based on 2 variables. Teacher and implementation online surveys were administered to both treatment and control groups twice a year for 4 years. Research combined 2 analytical approaches, hierarchical linear growth model and a correlation and regression analysis. The research found positive effects to schools that implemented technology immersion. Needs met by the program. When addressing the needs and ultimately determining whether they are met, Posivik emphasizes focus beyond specific essential questions. Evaluators should seek to learn 1. Who wants an evaluation? 2. What should be the focus of the evaluation? 3. Why is an evaluation wanted? 4. When is an evaluation wanted? And 5. What resources are available to support the evaluation? When addressing these specific questions, the notion of technology immersion was accredited by various teachers, leaders, and policymakers who noticed a shift from minimal use of particular hardware and software to a total incorporation into every aspect of the educational environment. These changing views reflect the understanding of the changing pedagogy and how to accommodate in order to create environments that encourage teaching and learning. Research has revealed that children learn more when they are engaged in meaningful, relevant, and intellectually stimulating work. Many evaluators believe technology can enhance student learning while preparing them for the 21st century. Texas recognized the need to prepare students for the digital age. Texas passed legislation, Senate Bill 396, which designed the technology immersion to prepare each student for success and productivity as a lifelong learner, a world-class communicator, a cooperative and creative knowledge worker, and an engaged and contributing member of an emerging global society. The Texas Educational Agency, also known as T, added additional specifications to include robust technology access, technical and pedagogical support for implementation, professional development for educators using technology effectively, and readily available curricular and assessment resources that support the state foundation curriculum. The Texas Center for Educational Research partnered with T for a 4-year evaluation on implementation and effectiveness of the technology immersion model. Program description. Texas recognized the connection between students' long-term success and technology integration in order to be successful contributing members of a global society. In 2003, the Texas legislature instituted a vision for technology immersion pilot that would require middle schools to dive into technology by providing individual wireless mobile devices and technology-based learning resources coincide with teacher training and support for effective technology use. The Texas Education Agency, also referred to as T, set forth $2 million in federal Title II Part D monies to fund the technology immersion projects for high-need middle schools. The statute provided by the legislation provided a description of technology immersion, but the T built upon the model for consistent comprehension across schools. The technology immersion involves 6 components. A wireless mobile computing device for each educator and student. B, productivity, communication, and presentation software for use as learning tools. C, online instructional resources that support the state's curriculum. D, online formative assessment tools. E, professional development for teachers supporting technology integration. And F, initial and ongoing technical support to maintain an immersed campus. T recognized that in order for schools and classrooms to utilize mobile technology, there was a need for ample access to all resources. The T selected 3 lead vendors to provide the technology immersion packages: Dell Computer Inc., Apple Computer Inc., and Region 1 Education Service Center.
Evaluation questions by Tracy Neal. There are 2 research questions studied. The first question was, do teachers who are immersed in technology-rich schools and classroom environments increase their technical expertise, adopt supportive ideologies, and change their practices at faster rates than teachers in controlled settings with more conventional levels of technology? Question 2 was, what factors, both personal and contextual, help to explain teacher change or lack thereof? Through the technology immersion, it should change teachers' belief about technology integration, create learner-centered instruction, increase student use, and increase technology proficiency. In order to achieve these goals, you must have all stakeholders involved, including parents, teachers, administration, and the community. The evaluation design used was the quasi-experimental design. It is best used because it can show data over time. The 2 groups that were used was the treatment group and the control group, and quasi-experimental design can control bias. The treatment group and the control group had 21 schools each, middle grade 6 through 8. The treatment group was immersed in technology first, and the control group received laptops, instructional resources, and 25% of funds for professional development during the 3rd year. The treatment group was not a true representation of the state of Texas. Therefore, there was a threat to external validity. Since the control group received the instructional resources and laptops during the 3rd year, it could make the program look less effective. Also, it adds threat to internal validity. Overall, the need focused on more economically disadvantaged and more Hispanic and less white and African American teachers.
This is Michelle Edwards, and I will address the evaluation findings beginning with research question 1, the effects of technology immersion on teacher growth. The evaluators focused on teacher change from multiple points during the program using online teacher surveys. The reliability of such a survey that focuses on specific behaviors is likely to be fairly high, especially since program participants can be the best source of information when surveyed about their own condition. Data was collected on 5 teacher outcome variables, which were relevant to the specific informational needs. By using several variables, the evaluators could draw conclusions from the convergence of these variables and thus add considerable strength to their evaluation. Treatment and control groups were used, and a large sample size was used so that a good chance of finding a statistically significant difference would be available. In addition, the availability of similar groups for the treatment and control group makes this design quite powerful and useful. The evaluators described their method of evaluation as a hierarchical linear growth model with 3 levels. Level 1 was the repeated measures model, Level 2 the teacher level model, and Level 3 the school level. Evaluators were careful to be sure the outcome were affected by the program and not other influences by relating the school poverty to the teacher's baseline status and yearly growth rates to eliminate the distortion of effects due to the correlation between economically disadvantaged students and the negative effects on school reform efforts. Since turnover rates were high in some of the schools, a multi-level regression model was used to reduce the threat to validity of attrition, since it does not require equal occasions of measurement and allows for missing data to be included in the analysis. The results of the data show that schools in technology immersion, the treatment schools, had a statistically positive effect on teachers' growth rate in all 5 teacher variables. The evaluators also noted that the control groups were introduced to technology in year 3 and showed positive growth trends in technology proficiency, technology integration, and learner-centered instruction. Research question 2 focused on factors associated with treatment teachers' classroom immersion of technology. Evaluators created a classroom immersion index using scales and items from the treatment teachers' final surveys to develop Z-scores for immersion support indicators. Only core area teachers were included. Evaluators made partial correlations using 5 identified variables and 4 controlled variables. Through partial correlation, the evaluators determined the growth of each school support indicator were positively associated with the strength of the classroom immersion index. Immersion support was a stronger contributor to technology integration, learning-centered activities, and student activities. If one is to measure the effect of the program, a multiple regression analysis is required. The evaluators used a multiple regression analysis and found significant predictors of teachers' classroom immersion in innovative culture, parental community support, professional development contact hours, classroom support, and teacher technology proficient being the strongest. Conclusions and implications. Before listing conclusions, the goal of the technology immersion model is to improve access to classroom technology resources, provide ongoing professional development, promote shared commitment and capacity for enacting and sustaining innovation. The evaluators also listed the theoretical assumptions that school-wide provisions of technology support will produce teachers who are more technology adept, use laptops and digital resources to transform teaching, have students use technology more often. All of this should result in improved school and classroom environments where students are intellectually challenged, engaged in activities, and have improved academic achievement. Through the data collection, the evaluators concluded that the impact of technology immersion increases teacher technical expertise, allows teachers to adopt supportive ideologies, and allows teachers to change their teaching practices. The gamma coefficients, which demonstrate differences between pre-test and post-test that are due to a reconceptualization of the meaning of the variable being measured, were in support of the 5 teacher variables. The beta coefficients, which occur when respondents change their understandings of the meaning of the variable, supports that schools are positively correlated with the level of classroom immersion. With the identified variables, that included innovative cultures, professional development, and parental community support. Of the controlled variables, technology proficiency had the strongest correlation. In their conclusions, the evaluators pointed out the effect of school poverty. Teachers in higher poverty schools grew, yet they did so at slower rates for both the treatment and the control groups. The implications of this evaluation show that changing teacher instructional practices is an incremental process. It's more successful with high-quality support over time, readily available resources, extensive opportunities for professional development, collegial working environments, and shared commitment of parents and community. The validity of this outcome evaluation has been increased by the evaluators' choices to observe the participants at additional times before and after the program, to observe groups of people who have not experienced the program, and by using a variety of variables to test the hypothesis, as well as a variety of methods in collecting data.